The King of the Baggers race and why I think it matters to all of motorcycling. "2020 was full of both disappointments and surprises. For many of us, the King of the Baggers race flew under the radar until we started to see videos from the races on the internet. The initial reactions were predictably mixed. Those bikes aren't stock, so who cares? Superbikes can lap them. Harley and Indian are a dying breed fighting for the last plot at the graveyard. But what was the universal reaction to the actual video footage of the races? Usually it was, holy effing ship's mast, Batman. These racers were wringing out their machines and competing for glory and the love of riding in a manner not observed for decades. It brought forth the emotion and enthusiasm usually reserved for the Race of Gentlemen, vintage board track racing, the Wall of Death, and Isle of Man. Whether you love or hate V-twin motorcycles, the passion, enthusiasm, bravery, and perseverance of the riders and teams was impressive to say the least. Most everyone was amazed that these behemoth machines, purpose-built and weight-reduced though they may be, were flying around the track and cornering to the extent that they managed. Another takeaway is that racing programs quite often influence product lineup, meaning mileage, performance, and handling improvements that start on the track quite often make their way into production. That's been missing from a lot of the motorcycle lineup for quite some time. Even if you have no intention of ever going that fast or attaining those lean angles yourself, you may stand to benefit. It's not enough to just be the fastest. The bike has to survive the race. That means the teams and manufacturers are learning things and acquiring data which could ultimately lead to better performing bikes on the sales floor. Handling, reliability, mileage, and power. Sounds good to me. More importantly, the King of the Baggers race brought awareness to motorcycling for some that would never watch other types of racing. This includes the non-riders with whom we have to share the road. These are some of the types of motorcycles many people see on the road. It's good for people to see the speed freaks running it wide open on a closed race course as opposed to out on the road. Makes them think about motorcycles when they might not otherwise, and I would say that the race puts motorcycling in a positive light. NASCAR used to engage me in the way King of the Baggers does. Teach their own, but NASCAR to me is now a shell of its former iterations and currently of little interest, at least to me. King of the Baggers reignited that race on Sunday, buy on Monday excitement, even though we all know these bikes were not stock and purpose-built for the track. Then again, there's nothing stock about a stock car, and yet we watched NASCAR for decades. For those that believe this was just about non-metric bikes, this was more than just a rivalry for dominantly US-sold big twin motorcycles. This competition harkened back to the glory days of racing and motorcycling in general. We're hearing tales of how teams helped each other to ensure they could compete with each other on race day, even if it meant helping another team would ultimately mean they might actually beat you later. This is the sort of brotherhood we often hear about in motorcycling, but has gotten diluted in the modern age. My personal thoughts are this is exactly what street motorcycling needs, and it is very much like the put up or shut up muscle car races of the 60s and 70s, which provided an outlet for the brand loyalist and the broad spectrum of enthusiasts. So too does the King of the Baggers. Letting folks duke it out on the track in a safe and controlled environment is far preferable to some of the street shenanigans we see these days. Maybe what's old is new again. Maybe this is something completely different. However it pans out, I know I'm already a fan and would gladly pay to see, or better yet, attend the next race. If you haven't already, find the complete video of the race, grab some popcorn, and settle in for a wild ride. You won't be disappointed. In 2021, there will be 5 rounds or races in 5 different venues starting in April on through June, July, August, and September. Search for the latest info. I know one way or another, I'll be watching. If you liked the video and you think we've earned it, please give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it if you subscribe. And as always, ride safe. Namaste.